And we are live. Welcome to So Get This. And I have a very special guest with us tonight. Her name is Fabi, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
You did.
Groovy. Okay, so Tia, we're having issues getting her video feed in, but she has this beautiful avatar that will pop up whenever she speaks.
So Tia,
we're having issues getting her video all know that feed. Was happening, right? Yeah. It's not a So Get This episode if that doesn't happen. So anyway, I wanted to say hi to everybody out there in the chat room getting ready with their questions, and Mishy's already running to grab more wine. Yeah.
Just had a little just beforehand.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, Mishy's already saying she sees two of me. That's really scary.
Oh.
Me is more than enough. So let's just dive in and get this going.
All right.
Oh, I also just want to put out there that there will be a trivia question thrown in later on in the show, and the winner will receive a gift certificate for $50. Woo! Okay. So keep watching. And so let's just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said, my name is Tia Fabi. My online user handle is TC Stark in pretty much any media, so there's that. I am 25. I'm from New York. I am a writer. I like to think of myself as someone who's always trying to kind of like take the next step, achieve goals. I just got a new job, which I feel is like a step away from, I kind of had like a stressful environment in my last place of work, so I feel like I just went for it. And so it's pretty much what I'm kind of trying to do in all aspects of life. Just get away from stress and pretty much just get back to being carefree and loving life like I usually do.
No, I hear you. I was in the financial industry for over 20 years.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I used to be an assistant vice president. Can you believe that?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so no, I can completely relate, to wanting to simplify things and just get your mindset back and think about, things that make you feel like you're being true to yourself, right?
Right, exactly.
That's oh, we have a guest in the chat room by the name of Petra.
Yes, I know her. We follow each other on Twitter.
Okay, well, she's saying, Tia, missed her, haven't talked to her in a while.
Oh no, that makes me feel so bad. I love her. She's amazing.
So you are a writer, and from what you've told me, you are self-published. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, I self-published on Kindle a few years ago when a fellow friend who is a writer did the same thing, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So I have 2 books up. They're under Tia Fabi. You can find them. The first one is called The Utopia, and the second one is called Sleepwalker. They're both kind of in my old style of writing, which is first person. I'm actually working on a new story right now, which is in my new writing style of third person, but The Utopia is very cool. I like it. It's kind of very World War II-esque, but instead of like neo-Nazi Germany, it's like neo-Nazi Russians, pretty much. But it's the story of these 2 girls, both from different ends of the spectrum of classes, trying to pretty much band together in this new world. And Sleepwalker is almost like a Harley Quinn Joker-esque, where one of the characters, the female character, is pretty much like an intern at a like mental psychiatric place, and her sessions with one of the people there. So there's that. And just throwing out really quick, my book that I'm working on now is pretty much a serial killer thriller with a guy who is a serial killer, obviously, and he poses as a psychiatrist to lure in young women.
Oh, nice. Now that's my genre.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm almost close to finishing it, but not even going through like the editing process at all. So it might be a little while before that's up, but hopefully within this year.
Is it going to be? Have you heard of splatterpunk? The genre of splatterpunk?
I
Like,
have heard that, but if you want to familiarize me with it again, that would be awesome.
well, Blake Crouch is a big
Uh-huh.
splatterpunk writer. And I read a lot of his work, and it's just twisted, demented. Like, you have to be mentally ill to write this shit.
Oh, shit.
But it's fascinating. As a matter of fact, the series Wayward Pines is based on one of his stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's his first come to TV adaptations of his writing. And that Wayward Pines is really not splatterpunk, but a lot of his other stuff is. And there was another writer that he collaborated a lot with, and I wish I could remember his name, but they had done kind of like a writing duel where they wrote through Google Docs. One writer would write a chapter as one character, and the other writer would write back as the other character, and they would just play off of each other like that, and it became the most twisted, mind-fucking thing I've ever read. So anyway, if that's the direction you're going, hey, but no, seriously though, we can get your work on Kindle, you said?
Yes, you could definitely get it on Kindle. I mostly like searching through Google search. Just type in Tia Fabi, the Utopia, or Tia Fabi Sleepwalker. It's the first thing that's gonna pop up.
Awesome. Okay. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do, and actually what you need to do too, which would make it easier, is email me after we wrap up the broadcast. And what I'll do is I'll copy and paste all that info into the description of this video, because this will become a video that gets uploaded to my channel. And that way everybody can see it and have quick access to everything.
That would be amazing.
So would you say that writing is like your dream career that you'd eventually aspire to do full time, or are you happy with doing it on the side?
Writing is definitely the dream career. It's always the goal that I'm working towards. I've been a fan fiction writer since I was 14, starting on fanfiction.net, and I just recently got onto Archive of Our Own. And fan fictions to me has always been something to work on my craft. Reviewers on fan fiction are the kindest, the most critical, but in a good way, and just really helping me move along. And I take a lot of that into my non-fan fiction writing. And so, yes, that is the aspiration, that is the goal. I would love to have a book actually recognized, and then, if possible, perhaps turned into some TV series or a movie. I think that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. So what did you start out writing when you were 14? What was your fan fiction?
Have you ever heard, there was this video game, it was called SSX Tricky, it was this snowboarding game. It was so awesome. The people it was EA Sports, they took so much care into the characters. You didn't really have to reach on any of their personalities. They made all the personalities for you. So it just went off from there. And I've met two amazing people from that fandom alone, and a few other friends from the fan fiction community.
Wow, that's awesome. No, you're speaking to someone who grew up with Ms. Pac-Man and Space. If it's got more than one button, I can't play it. So
oh no.
I can't. I'm old. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but Mishi just got the name of the other author. Yes, it's J.A. Conrad. Thank you. That would have bothered the hell out of me. Yes, thank you. And the series I was referring to is, I think, called Serial Killer, and it's really bizarre. But anyway, back to the fanfic. So, so would you consider? Do you write supernatural fan fiction or no?
I do. I don't always, because sometimes I'm almost afraid of screwing any of the characters up. But I have. Okay, it's really all right. It's really funny. Most of the reason why I've gone into Archive of Our Own, and I'm not trying to harp on fanfiction.net, but they've gotten very strict with their rules lately, and I don't like censorship at all. I write however I feel, whatever profanities, whatever descriptions, if that's what the scene calls for, I do it. And so they're kind of like iffy about that.
Uh-oh. I stopped hearing her. I don't know if you guys stopped hearing her, but I stopped hearing her. I don't know if you could hear me, Tia, but I can't hear you anymore. Okay, while we wait for that to get rectified, and again, I don't know, because sometimes what happens to me doesn't happen to you guys who are watching. Hi, Kat. Hi to you and to Sue, and I look sexy in my headset. Yeah, thank you. I want to apologize for my completely disheveled appearance. This is what I look like a day and a half before a convention. This is actually a good look because if you saw me 5 minutes before we went live, I would have frightened the hell out of you. All right, so I don't know what's going on with Tia's feed. I don't know. Tia, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can hear me, I hope you can hear me. Try logging off and jumping back in. And here comes my video bomber. Say hi! Raven went pink.
Yeah.
She went pink. Con life. Yes, Kat, con life. All right, well, Tia, I hope, okay. I just saw your mic thing light up and go away. Welcome to live. Yeah. Oh, Mishy's saying she loves the pink. Kat saying hi to you. Okay, so in the meantime, you know what? I know it's what?
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 Ring, ring. Oh, don't you want to answer your phone? Somebody answer the phone for crying out loud.
Hi. Oh no. Okay, well, this is Tia, by the way, guys. So someone in the chat room saying that you may need to reset your router, that the internet likes to randomly drop for no reason at the worst moments. Do you want to try resetting your router and
Is
then
it real?
Okay, she's gonna try that. No, don't worry about it. You know, it's cool that you called me because everybody seems to like my ringtone. Yeah, this is Raven. She's my little video bomber.
No.
Yes. Oh, Mishy's asking Raven if you get to skip school on Friday. We're not sure yet. We're not sure yet. The whole family's going to the convention, but I'm not sure.
It's in Nashville, and we live in Murfreesboro, and we.
Yep. So we're gonna be going back and forth. So I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. I do know that on Sunday someone's getting a photo op.
Jensen and Jeremisa.
Yeah. So
It's raining out.
it's raining, so they're gonna. Yeah, the kids are gonna have a photo op with some weirdos named Jensen Padalecki and Jared Ackles or something.
Jared Ackles.
Jared
Ew.
Ackles. Ew.
That's not right. Jared Padalecki, Jensen Ackles.
I know. And Mishy's asking if she can skip school. Nope. No, you cannot. No. Yeah, you can. Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that.
Do what?
All right.
Ow.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to put Tia on speaker. Raven, go see. Okay. Okay, Tia?
Yes.
Okay. So Tia's here. I'm gonna. I just broadcast your phone number to everybody on the interwebs. Now I'm covering it.
Sure.
There we go.
You want to call me, guys.
For a good time. No. Okay, so I hope y'all can hear her. Okay, so we're just gonna jump in and so why don't you tell us about how you got into Supernatural?
Well, how I got into Supernatural was actually my friend who I went to HousCon with recently, she got me into Supernatural because her and I are writing buddies, and she had been wanting to at least brainstorm something supernatural related, but I had no idea about the show. Actually, I did kind of have an idea about the show. Tumblr talks about it all the time. I was like, what the hell is this show? And her favorite character is Crowley, and she wanted me to skip to the 5th season. And I was like, no, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And so I started off, and it took a little while at first, to be honest. I just kept watching. And then by the 2nd season, I had to be honest with myself and go, Tia, you like this show. Stop being so resistant to it. And then I just took a freaking nosedive into it.
So what was it about the show? When did it click that you liked the show? What about it drew you to it?
The 4th season. The 4th season is when it really clicked, where I was like, I am obsessed with this show. I want to brainstorm this show. I want everything about this show. I want to know. I want to know it all. And the 10th season was going on at this time, and so I was almost freaking out. I need to speed up. I need to speed up. That way I can actually watch the 10th season as it's happening. I caught the last 2 episodes actually on air. Everything else I had to watch on Google Play or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Bye.
Bye, Raven. So long. Farewell.
What?
Right out. Go. Hey, well, that's awesome. You're probably
Yay?
what?
Say yay?
No, I'm talking to. Go.
Okay.
Close the door.
I'm just checking on it.
Love it live, don't you? Okay. Yeah, there's no edit button here. What was I going to ask you? Oh, what I was going to say was that you're one of the newest fans that I've ever met, actually, and I considered myself a relatively new one, and I've been going over 3 years now, actually.
Oh, wow.
And I still consider myself relatively new, I guess, for a show that's been on the air for over 11 years now. 11 seasons, rather. Yeah, I mean, so let me ask you this. Well, before I go there, let me ask you, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Of course I have a favorite. My favorite is Castiel.
Ah!
100%.
You just made Mishy very happy.
What? It's one. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I was going to say, it's one. The reason why I said the 4th season is when it really blew up for me is that I love the introduction of the angels and the war between the angels and demons, and the apocalypse was going to start, and it was all this reasoning for why I'm sure the creators put Dean into hell in the first place. And I just loved all of that, and just Castiel's introduction into the show was just amazing to me. And then since then, he's always been a favorite. Always been a favorite, and I'm sure it's one of those things where the fans now are like, oh, why isn't Castiel in every single episode? And I am one of those fans that are asking the same exact thing.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he had probably, aside from Death, probably one of the most badass entrances I've ever seen.
Yeah, no one's going to beat Death. I will admit that. No
Death scene was... Death. Yeah, up there. But Castiel, totally up there. And Billy the Reaper is up there too. I think the top three, Billy, Castiel, and Death. Totally.
Billy is so cool in the fact that she's just so aloof with everything. And I guess it kind of really relates into the Death. I mean, she's right now, to us, the audience, Death's counterpart, pretty much, even though she is just a Reaper, and that's how I feel, at least, that she's our female Death, and I love her. I can't wait to see more of her. Although she did freak me out a little bit when, she first told Sam, oh yeah, if you die, you're never coming back. I'm like, that's not the supernatural way. They always come back.
They do. They always do. They'll find it's called major loopholes, but they'll find a way. Oh, so Mishy's asking, what do you think of Lustiel, which I call Cassifer, but of course.
I call it Cassifer.
You know,
That feels good. That feels good.
Missy calls him Lustiel.
I have a love-hate relationship with Lustiel, only because Lucifer is still definitely one of my favorite characters. So I love that. Misha Collins is such an incredible actor, and I'm not even just saying that from a supernatural standpoint. If you've seen his other work, such as Carlo, which I know he probably doesn't like too much, but his acting in it was still so superb. So yes, all those notions aside, but at the same time, I'm just like, where's Castiel? Is he okay? Is he going to be okay? Is someone going to tell him that he's loved? Dean, are you finally going to tell him that he's loved, even in a platonic friendship level? So.
Okay.
That's pretty much how I feel about it.
I think that Misha's doing a phenomenal job with it, and I've seen a lot of negativity about his performance incorporating Lucifer into the character. They're saying, oh, he's
really?
yeah, I've seen comments, oh, he's copying, Mark Pellegrino. Well, yeah, I mean, not copying, but he's got to take that in. I mean, that's Lucifer's character, and he has to, meld it, with Castiel. So I think he's doing a really amazing job.
I mean, Mark Pellegrino is the one who set it all off. So why would it be considered a negative thing for Misha Collins to be represented? Don't we want, as the audience, to believe that this is still the same character regardless of the actor who's portraying them?
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I think Misha Collins is doing a phenomenal job in it. I think he's having fun. He's making it his own, but also, again, I've always been totally convinced, even when Jared Padalecki played Lucifer, I was convinced that he was Lucifer as well. It was never a moment where, oh, it's this actor trying to be Mark Pellegrino.
Right. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. And a lot of people here in the chat window, Carrie and Destiny and Brittany, they're all agreeing to that. Yeah. So take that. That's
yeah. I wish you could see, side note, I wish you could see me right now. I'm wearing your necklace. And I wore specifically for this, which I'm a little peeved that I can't show you, but yeah, just know.
Can you remind me which one you have?
You gave me the Tomos Serenity one.
Right.
The beautiful green one. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, I'm so glad you like that. That was one of my favorite pieces to make because I started incorporating other types of metals into my work. I was always using silver, and that was one of my first deviations into incorporating other things. And I thought that would be I was trying to convey, Tomo's personality, and I thought that would be a good way of doing it. So I'm so happy you like it. I put a lot of thought into that.
Aww.
So let me ask you this. Out of all the characters that the writers have, tortured us with taking away from us, who would you bring back from the dead if you could?
So I thought about this one when you sent it to me. I thought, at first I was going to say Gadrill, and then I was going to say Balthazar, but I have settled on Benny.
Okay.
I would bring back Benny. And would you like to know why?
I would love to know why you want to bring back Benny.
Well, freaking, it's Titleston, so you know. No. Besides that, he's the only character who has never deviated from his loyalty towards Dean. I mean, we thought for maybe a second that he was in Citizen Fang was the episode, but he just all around was just there for Dean. He was a good person. He was one of the first, quote unquote, monsters to not really be a monster. He was just a human, pretty much, who just happened to, I guess, feed on blood. But you know what I'm saying?
Yes, he still had his humanity.
He still had his humanity, and I just think he should have been given more of a chance. I felt his story was very tragic, especially him coming back not to the world or anything like that. And also, I think he would have been a great older brother figure towards Dean, really.
Yeah.
I feel like he needed that. I feel like he really needed that. So, and they kind of always left it open at the end of the 8th season when he was unfortunately sent back to purgatory. Dean and Sam had that conversation about burying him, and so, I mean, yeah, we got him in season 10, but he was just an illusion. So
I know. I was so disappointed that he was an illusion. When I saw him, I screamed like, "Oh, what?"
I know.
But yeah, I mean, the piece that I designed for Benny was named "The Loyalty" of Benny Lafitte, because that's the quality that just, you know, emanates from him. I mean, everything he does is about the people that he loves.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. I mean, and he was so sad to have to leave Elizabeth after that whole debauchery in Louisiana.
I mean, and he was willing to sacrifice himself so that Dean could get Sam back out of purgatory.
Even though Sam totally hated him and would have killed him in a heartbeat.
Exactly. So, wow, that's a great choice. That's a really great choice. So let me ask you, since you're relatively new, not relatively, you are pretty new, to what do you think of when you hear the term SPN family?
When I think of SPN family, what I think of is a group of fans that, although disagree on things at times, like who do you ship? Do you ship Destino? Do you ship Wincest? I don't know. But besides that, I just see a group of fans who work harder than any other group of people to fight for the rights of those with mental illness, depression, charity events. It's just so awesome that it's not just a show where we all sit down and look at characters. I mean, everyone considers, the fact that we consider ourselves a family, and that you go to conventions, and that people like you and I can even talk to each other like this, and the fact that, Misha Collins and Jensen just did a, campaign, You Are Not Alone, where it's for support. The actors are getting together for support of people who are in tough times in their lives. I mean, it's just amazing. To me, that's just amazing to do.
Yeah, you're going to see so much more of that as time goes on, because those are the things, those are the qualities that stand out to me so much too about the Supernatural fans and the cast too. When I think of SPN family, I think not only of the fans, but I also think of the cast and the crew and the behind the scenes and the convention and creation entertainment. I mean, everyone that makes it possible for us to enjoy the show and get to connect with each other. Like you said, I mean, you and I should have said this in my introduction, Tia and I met at HousCon, and some of my best friends I met at conventions, Shannon, Anna Marie, I'm sorry, my daughter's giving me a note. What is your note? Can I have this? She wants my white paint pen. You may have it.
Yay.
There we go. That was easy. I'm probably going to steal it back from her later. That's okay. and the causes that you mentioned, yes, this is the first group of people that I've ever encountered that have gone out there about, there is nothing to be ashamed of with respect to mental illness, anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, whatever you're struggling with. It's okay, and there are people, you're not alone, for example. There are people that are going through the same things, the same struggles, and they're within this family, and the fact that Jensen and Misha are doing what they're doing right now and establishing helps, people that you can call when you're in crisis. Who does that? Who does that? On top of everything else that they do for this fandom, the fact that they spend all this time away from their family filming, now add the conventions to the equation, now add the European conventions to the equation, and now they're doing this on top of, the other fundraising that they do. I've never met a more spectacular bunch of individuals in my life, and it's, you know, it's something that it's overwhelming when you really think about it. You know, and when you bring up causes also, are there causes that you are passionate about?
Besides the You Are Not Alone, the Always Keep Fighting cause, which are fantastic causes, I like to think of myself as a feminist. I am very big into women's rights, women's equality. It's something that is in my everyday life. I recently left, not to speak ill of my former job, but I recently left a job where I dealt with pretty big bouts of subtle misogyny, probably things that people don't realize as they grow up are not appropriate to say or act or anything like that. So that's a big thing. And then LGBT rights is a lot of what I fight for pretty much as well. Those are the two causes that really are near and dear to me, really kept me emotional, really get me worked up pretty much. And so those are the two things that I really just commit my everyday life to.
That's wonderful. Yeah. That's wonderful. And that's another quality of that the fandom, you know, demonstrates as well. They're always willing to jump in and help other people and get involved in these other causes as well. And not only just, you know, promote them, but live them. You know, they live authentically. And speaking of causes, I'm going to deviate for a minute because I promised my friend Kat I would talk about attitudes in reverse for a minute. So there's a lot of information, and what I'm going to do is I have to read it off my phone. 1 second. Okay, so I have to go here, and I'm so unprofessional, it's not even funny. Okay, so.
I'm the one who doesn't have a working mic or a working camera, so no worries.
Hey, man, I'm glad your phone works. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kat Loveland, also known as Chaos Lil Cat on Twitter, is starting a chapter for Attitudes in Reverse in Phoenix. And what I'm going to do by tomorrow is I will add the links to all of the events and to air on my in the description of this video. So yeah, Raven. Oh, Raven, there's another Raven in the chat room. Really? Yes, Raven. Yes, professionally unprofessional is totally how I do things. So let me read this. There is an FB page for the Phoenix chapter. There is a fundraiser. And of course it's blurry now. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this. She's starting a Phoenix chapter of AIR, Attitudes in Reverse, and it's going to be officially launched in Phoenix at the Supernatural Convention. They will be doing an In Their Shoes presentation. The presentation's open for anyone. It's free at will. It's free, comma, it will be at the same hotel as the convention. It draws attention to the costs of depression and will have several speakers and possibly live music. I will be actually one of the speakers too. They need to raise over $3,000 to cover their expenses for doing this. Like I said, there will be a fundraiser link that I'll be adding, and there's also, you can read more about it if you go to attitudesinreverse.org, and you can click on the In Their Shoes presentation. They're also looking for donations of shoes. So if you have old shoes, and it could be yours, family members, whatever, please donate them. And in addition, anyone who donates will be receiving 10% off. If you donate 10%, I'm sorry, if you donate $10, you will have 10% off passionearthcollections.org, which is my friend Kelsey, and she's also a jewelry designer, and also off of Eternal Artworks. I do not have the link for them, unfortunately. And what else? They need about 200 pairs of shoes, and they only have 40. They need more shoes. Yeah, so I just wanted to point out something funny that happened in Pasadena. Let me go back to my phone now. There you are. Okay. In Pasadena, I did see that at the air table they had Jared's shoes there, and I jokingly said to someone at the table, I said, "So how many people came over and stuck their faces in Jared's shoes?" And she said, "A lot." I said, "No, I was joking. Seriously, I was joking." And she said, "But people were like, please don't put your face in the shoes. Don't put your
No,
leave.
feet, I'm sorry, regardless who they belong to.
Exactly. Let's leave a little mystery.
Exactly.
A little. I mean, not like Jensen left anything to mysterious today with his latest video in the toilet. But you know what?
What?
It's okay. Yeah, Raven, I'll show you later. It's just like, what? Okay.
That got me through the day at work, that video. I was like, what am I watching? These two are ridiculous.
I know, when the video started and I saw shoes, I'm like, oh, that can't be. No, it can't. No, it can't. Then the door opens. He's got a newspaper. I'm like, oh, God damn it. Really?
Hey.
Like,
And then
I
you saw
didn't
his
need
beautiful
that.
full legs.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, yeah, definitely not alone. So I'm sorry, she's distracting me as per usual. What is this? Oh my God, the video recreated a scene from Battlestar Galactica. Okay, you're gonna have to enlighten us on that one because I never I'm talking about I only watched the original Battlestar Galactica because I was alive when that came out. Yeah. And I had a crush on Dirk Benedict. I did. Who's Dirk Benedict? Yeah, he's probably really old now, but that's okay.
Ew. You having a crush on him?
Do you hear this? This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with. Oh my God. Okay, so anywho's, you're stranded on a deserted island, and you can only. Okay, so you're on a deserted island, and you can only bring one supernatural character with you. Who would it be, and why? And I think I already know your answer, but let's go for it.
And again, I thought about this one too. I was gonna say Dean, but I changed my mind, and I'm gonna go with Sam. I'm gonna go with Sam.
Now, why did you change your mind?
Well, I figured both of the boys would be pretty savvy when it comes to stuff like that, being both raised by not raised by John, he kind of showed up, but mostly raised by Bobby, who is a hunter.
Right.
So there's that. But I picked Sam because he's all naturey and stuff, and I feel like he would at least enjoy it a little more. I feel like Dean would complain a little. I mean, I would complain too, but there can't be two of us complaining. One of them has to be a little more enthusiastic about it, and I feel like Sam would be enthusiastic about it.
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Who did you think I was going to choose? Did you pick Dean?
No, actually, I thought you were going to pick Castiel.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you'd pick him. Yeah.
Why would he be good?
Well, I don't know, but I figured because he's your favorite. People tend to pick their favorites without having a game plan for it. But yeah,
if I wanted to, I guess pass the time in a more adult way, then yes, I would pick the other thing.
He has protection. He has his angel blade, so it would be fine, really.
I'm sorry.
No apologies necessary, really. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to throw out the trivia question. And, oh, Mishy, you're saying, oh, God, Jody, like that's the worst thing I've ever said on this show. You kidding me? Really?
Really?
Really? Okay, so the trivia question, in honor of it being Tuesday, and not only is it Tuesday, but Mystery Spot was on the TNT Rewatch today, and I was very excited about that. And I have to credit my boys, Jaden and Phoenix, with helping me come up with the trivia question for today. And before I throw it out there, let me tell you the rules. You know me, I'm like a rule Nazi. You cannot have one from me in the past 8 weeks. And also your answer must be grammatically correct and no spelling errors.
Okay.
The former teacher in me, it makes me crazy. So you have the question is, in Mystery Spot, what was the clue in the diner that finally clicked with Sam that he was dealing with the trickster? What did he see?
And that's for me to answer, or is that for the people?
Oh, that's for the audience.
Okay.
That's
I know.
Okay,
I
no,
know.
you can't say. You can't say no.
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Yes. Yes. So the first
Let's see who gets
person,
it right.
the first person to answer will get a $50 gift certificate in towards my shop, and you can't use the gift certificate to buy more gift certificates because that's cheating. Okay, so I'm put it out there. I mean, I can't believe some of the loopholes y'all come up with, and because I get these comments from people like, you have so many rules. I'm like, because people are so freaking savvy. Like, oh, well, you know, here's a good example. Okay, so I started doing this thing at conventions where, you know, I'll have you say something funny, and if you say it, I'll give you $5 off everything on my table, right? So, well, this is how it went in I started doing it for the first time in Jacksonville, and I was there during my oldest son's birthday. And, you know, my oldest son, he's grown, you know, he turned 28, and I felt bad that I wasn't, you know, able to, I mean, he doesn't live near me anymore anyway, but I hated being so far away from him, and I thought it would be nice to have people say happy birthday, David. So I had a little sign on my table saying, if you say happy birthday, David, something amazing happens. Now, you know, people would come over and they would think that I had a midget under the table that was going to jump out and punch them in the balls if they said it. And, you know, I'm like, no, seriously. So, you know, they're like, why should I say this? I said, just say it. Okay, happy birthday, David. Who's David? Oh, he's my son. Aw, how old is he? 28. Oh. Every conversation, I swear to God. And then I did it again in Houston, but this time I had everybody say, hey, ass butt, because I just figured that was a lot easier to deal with.
I remember that one.
Okay. Did I give you $5 off?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, my whole point about this was, you know, people were saying, oh, okay, I get $5 off if I say it. What if I say it 5 times? Do I get it free? No. Now I got to make a rule. You know, so like my rules are, you know, you can't use gift certificates to buy fundraiser pieces because, as you all know, I donate the money for those, and I can't donate zero, right? I can't donate stuff I don't have. I need the money to donate. So, because I'm already donating the material and my time to make the pieces, right? So you have to pay for those. And what else? What other rules? Okay, the bottles. The bottles are a lot of work, and they were already marked down, so they can't use bottles. And you cannot buy gift certificates with the gift certificates. And I think, well, all the rules are in my shop announcement. Just go there. And Mishi, you're right. But I need to know what specifically. I'm looking for a flavor.
Flavor?
And now everybody's going to be like jumping on it. But you know what, Rogue, Mishi, I'll accept that answer. I will accept your answer. Excuse me. Pancake Man gets a different syrup. That's right. He noticed that he got strawberry syrup today instead of maple syrup. And as Dean would say, what kind of country are we living in where a man can't get strawberry syrup instead of maple? What's the big
By the way, side note on that, speaking about Gabriel the Trickster, my first photo op was with Richard, and I was very impressed with seeing he is definitely working out. And I think I said something in like this huge like ramble. I was like, "You look good. Have you been working out?" And he was like, "Sometimes." I was like, "That's so random. You just made yourself look like the biggest freaking groupie. What was wrong with you?" It just like came out of my mouth.
I'm sure you made his friggin' day.
Yeah, so there was that. And also, another side note, what did you have your kid when you were like 1? Because you look in your 20s. What are you talking about?
Oh, are you my new best friend now? Thank you. I am way past, I'm middle-aged.
You are?
I have my own little soundtrack going on back here. How old am I, Raven? How old am I? I'm 45.
Well, girl, you found the fountain of youth, so.
Yeah, that's all the drugs I did. No.
Good for drugs. I hope there's no kids listening to this. Well, besides Raven.
Well, thank you. You're so sweet. Oh, you made me feel better because this is like, I don't know. You guys who watch me regularly, do I usually look this shitty on air? No, I don't look this bad. This is like the worst I think I've ever gone on air. Like this is my pajamas actually. I said a bad word, and that's what you deal with when you come in here. You know that. You know that. Okay. So we are coming near the end, and congratulations to Mishi again for winning. And I have your address. I know where you live, and I know that's stalkery. But you know how it works. So, Raven in the chat room, not Raven sitting across from me, making me feel terrible. Raven is saying that I look amazing, and thank you. And Brittany, thank you for your. Oh, guys, you're making me cry. Stop it with the compliments. God damn it. Thank you. You're so sweet, all of you. Oh, look how my face is as red as my hair now. Look at that. Look, because they're saying all these nice things. Oh my God.
Why
it could be a hot flash too. But
why your face red?
Because they're making me. They're saying beautiful things to me, and they're making. Yes, they are. They are very lovely people, and they're saying nice things to me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
How about me?
What about you, woman?
Am I special?
You are very special.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm special then.
Oh my God. Aren't you supposed to be like brushing your teeth right now anyway?
What time is it?
It's almost 8:30. Yeah, go.
You press at 8:50 or something.
Oh, get out.
No, never.
Welcome to my life.
Really?
Oh, and Raven over here is saying that your voice is amazing and you're most definitely special.
Me?
And Destiny's throwing glitter at you.
Me? Who's
And
Destiny?
Destiny is another one of my friends that watches.
Ooh.
Okay, so the last question is, well, it's not really a question. It's more like fill in the blank. All you need is
Pie.
Pie. Any particular kind?
Blueberry pie.
Blueberry.
Pie is amazing.
Yeah, blueberry's good.
Blueberry? Yummy.
We've had some. Don't you dare! She's about to take a white paint pen and
wasn't
draw
really.
on my husband's BB-8
I
robot.
wasn't.
Okay, yeah. You don't want to do that. You trust me. You do not want to do that. We've had some really fun answers for the fill in the blank for all you need is. Samantha Smith said all you need is cheese, and I agree. And then who said? Oh, Jennifer Copping, I think, said wine.
Oh, wine is good.
Yeah, so if wine and cheese go well.
Who's Jennifer?
Jennifer Copping, she played Sandy Phelan in the episode Angel Heart, I think it was. Well, it was an episode with Claire when they first introduced teenage Claire. She ran the home that Claire was in. Stop writing on your hand with the white paint. Oh my God.
Where's my smiley face? See?
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Raven.
Wait, you can see?
Yes, she can see. She's watching, but we can't see her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Raven. Yeah. A great use of a $10 pen.
10?
Yeah, that's not cheap, woman. I was using.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. All right, go.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
May the force be with you. Go.
Oh, look what I just did to my project
It never ends.
thing.
Oh, that was your school project that you just brought home today that you still don't know what you got on it, or which, or should I say, what my husband got on it. But, yeah, you don't know what grade you got?
No.
So she decided to draw over the back of it.
Young if we could
Oh,
put this
so I have a
home,
question
and
for
she
you.
said Yes.
Okay.
Who would be out of Castiel, Dean, or Sam, who would be the most crafty for a school project?
Oh, man, that's tough. They'd all be good for different reasons. I think Dean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my reasoning is because that mother built an EMF detector out of a Walkman.
I love when people point out from, like, especially the beginning season, because, you know, and again, I love Sam. I hate when people hate on Sam. Love Sam, you know? But Dean is also a pretty smart one, too.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many examples of it, and so people always refer back to the EMS, and I just love that. I love when people actually admit that Dean is smart. He's not just the guy who hits on chicks and makes some really weird comebacks that don't always work.
I agree. They don't give him enough credit. I mean, they look at him as the brawn, and he's more than that. He's so much more. I mean, he outsmarts people like crazy. And there's some comments in the chat room here too. Okay, Mishy, you said Sam. You say Sam for everything. If you said who would make the best Dean, you'd say Sam.
He did play Dean in Gossip Girl, right?
That's true. And Raven is saying they're also freaking smart in their own ways, and everyone should most defensively know that.
You said my name.
I was talking about the Raven in the chat window here. Raven.
Wait, is that her actual?
Yes, that's her actual name, but she spells it a little differently than you. She spells it.
No. R-A-V-I-N?
No, R-A-Y-V-E-N.
What?
R-A-Y-V-E-N.
Really?
Raven.
My spells R-A-V-E-N.
Like the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Raven's also saying, I mean, he actually survived 11 seasons. That's such a long time. I don't think I would have survived 3 seasons. That's a good game. Someone should come up with, you know how they have the Walking Dead games where, like, would you be able to survive in a zombie apocalypse? They should have a supernatural thing like that. You know, would you be able to survive? Like, how many, like, what monsters would you be able to survive? Or, you know, would you be able to survive the apocalypse?
I mean, Dean, really quick on the Dean example again. I mean, in Purgatory, when Castiel bailed and before he met Benny, he was surviving on his own. I mean, yeah, Benny had to save him at that moment, but he still figured stuff out. I mean, he obviously made himself a sword. He like getting his bearings, right? So Dean is a smart guy. And yes, there should be a game like that, and I would not win it at all. I have no doubts that in any zombie apocalypse, or if the Leviathans came, that I'd be like the first one dead. I have no resources.
I would be deader than dead within season, like, oh my God, season 1. I wouldn't last. I really wouldn't.
The Wendigo would get me from episode 2, season 1.
What would?
The Wendigo?
The Wendigo? Yeah.
The Wendigo.
That's what I was thinking of. Like, I could deal with Bloody Mary. I could deal with, you know, the hitchhiker on the road, ghosts, whatever. Oh my God, she's got the cat. She's got the cat.
Oh,
This is Maggie.
She's a girl.
She's a girl. And we have 3 cats. And this is the only girl. She's the youngest. She hates me. Yeah, see that? See that? I only brought you in and I scoop your crap out of a box and feed you, but she hates me. Clean your own damn litter box. Her name's Maggie because we named her after Maggie from The Walking Dead, but based on her personality, she really should have been named Lizzie.
Mom, what happens to wear that headset?
This headset, courtesy of Kat Loveland, as my Christmas present or birthday present, I can't remember. They're only 5 days apart. So, she gave this to me because before that, having an interview with me was like Feedback City, and this cancels out the feedback. This is how everybody could hear me clearly, and I'm not getting a lot of background noise in there. And yeah. And
it's raining hard.
Weather report by Raven.
I want to try this. I really want to.
It's not gonna. Oh my God! For 1 second. Oh my God! Now people can see really how bad my hair is. All right, hurry up.
Hello.
Hi, Raven. How are you? I think you have a career in weather forecasting, so, you know, never give up.
Never. No, don't touch that button.
Okay.
That's when the midget comes out. That's when the midget comes out from under the table.
Yeah.
All right. Give me my headphones, dude.
Hey! I said dude.
I said dude.
Not cool. Bye-bye.
There we go. Bye-bye. Go get ready for bed. It's 8:34.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Feedback City. You want to trademark that term, Destiny? Go for it. It was what my show was, pretty much. So Raven and Destiny, are you sisters? Because it just took me a second to realize that they have the same last name. I am so on the uptake here. Oh my God. And Alfini Q said, Bloody Mary scared the crap out of me. That was scary. It really was scary. And
I mean, Supernatural definitely had a more horror, scary aspect to it. I actually was having a Twitter conversation today, and I don't remember with who, but we were talking about the episode Skin and how creepy and disgusting the shapeshifters used to be.
yeah.
And if you watch now, especially in the episode Bloodlines from season 9, they definitely changed the nature of the shapeshifters because it was gross. It was like really gross.
It was like they would leave behind a pile of mucus. You know, it was disgusting.
And then even in that scene, like teeth are popping out at some point.
Yes!
I mean, it's interesting to see though where things have originated. You know, maybe you can answer a question for me that I've been curious about.
Mm-hmm.
From season 1, when they first trapped Meg with the first vessel, and there's that devil's trap, but they've never used that devil's trap again, and I don't know why.
I don't know why. I honestly don't understand that either. That was a Solomon's key, and that's an actual thing, a Solomon's key.
Right.
A key of Solomon, however you want to phrase it. But I don't know why they stopped using it after that one episode, unless they realized it was just a real big pain in the ass to keep recreating because it's a very intricate design. Whereas you can just throw a pentagram on that shit and you're done.
That is true. That's very true. I mean, can you imagine if the boys had to do that every single time? They'd probably really be pissed off.
Could you imagine? Yeah, because think about it. You know, now the devil's trap is a pentagram with those symbols around it, and those symbols, you know, and I've done it, you know, just to see if I could do it, and I did research on it too, and they're actually not a real thing. They're not. they're not an actual language or an actual symbol. So they were designed by Supernatural's art department, so I can't use them in my jewelry, unfortunately, because it's a licensing thing. But yeah, I guess my theory is it's just a lot easier to draw that shit than to draw Solomon's Key. I don't know if anybody else agrees. Destiny's saying there are a few plot holes here and there. Yeah, I mean, there are, but I don't know. I mean, if there are more holes, then, you know what, they just decide to change things up. So it might just not necessarily be a hole, but just be, you know, they decided to take a left at Albuquerque instead of, you know, going straight. But
and that's happened quite a few times in the series, especially in the beginning seasons when I think they're first trying to figure things out and all that jazz, pretty much.
True. I mean, going back to your point on the shapeshifters, bloodlines, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, so I'm just going to put it out there. I hated it.
When I refer to bloodlines, I am no way saying that I actually liked the episode. There are definitely a few episodes in the Supernatural series that I am not a fan of. I hated the episode with the familiars. I hated the plot line. I hated the concept of it. I just didn't like it at all. But yes, the bloodlines, I saw no point to it. I didn't like it. But I'm just, you know, again, using the example of the shapeshifters. Pretty much is that because the guy ran his hands through his hair and changed the color, and I'm like, that required no skin falling out at all.
Right, exactly. And you know, the fact that, you know, monster movie, and I could be wrong, I could be remembering this wrong because I haven't watched it in a long time, but I mean, from what I remember, they made a point of pointing out that he went and he got the costume from a costume place. So I don't know. Like, who was he? I don't know. I just confused myself. I guess they don't replicate the clothes. Duh. They don't replicate the clothes. They replicate the person. Carrie saying that she hated bloodlines too. It was very teeny bopper, glittery monster feel. I really just don't like shows where everybody is dressed up like they just walked out of like a lawyer's firm, you know, having conversations with martinis in their hands. I can't stand it. It felt like I was watching Dynasty.
Well, it's so generic and feel like it's been done so many times before where, you know, these characters have to be very chic and we're very classy and we're very this. Like, now you have Sam and Dean who stay in 2-star motels at best, and Dean's eating practically out of garbages and Sam is possessed by Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just very, there's been shows where I've tried to get into it and just has felt like the same old thing. Yeah. Pretty much.
No, I hear you. It's just, it's very formulaic. You know, there was nothing that stood out as supernatural except for the fact that, you know, Sam and Dean popped up here and there.
I'm just getting glue.
You're getting glue now. You're not doing that on my stuff.
Sorry.
You are not doing that on my stuff. Go.
Okay.
Which character do you think should have lasted longer than they did?
Oh God, several. Charlie went out like a punk. I hate how they did that. If they were going, I mean, I understand they wanted to write her off. They felt her story had come to an end. They could have shown her going out like the badass she was. They didn't. Who else? Damn. Oh my God. Ellen and Joe, of course.
Oh, that was so sad. That to me, I get a lot of people disagreeing with me on this, but I think that's the saddest death out of anything. Out of any time Dean and Sam have died, out of anything, Joe and Ellen. I guess because I have such a close relationship with my mother, so seeing that, tears everywhere.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I didn't have that growing up, but that was, I think, for anyone who was emotionally invested in those characters, that was incredibly heart-wrenching to watch. My God. And some other people here are agreeing here. And Michie and Al Finiku are also saying Rowena, of course. I really am pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I really thought that Rowena was going to last, a few more episodes at best, and not. But I think as soon as Lucifer drew her in and was talking to her, and as soon as he asked, is there anyone else who can close the gates? I
knew too. As soon as that question came out of his mouth, I said, "Here it comes, here it comes." But let me throw another one at you. Let me see what you think about this. Okay, so it's not quite a death, but this ceased to exist. Demon Dean.
Demon Dean should have definitely lasted longer than the 3 episodes he was in.
Right?
If anything more, just to see Jensen Ackles acting as Demon Dean. I mean, that was just superb. I really, really enjoyed seeing him act like that. Yes! I mean, Demon Dean was just great. They could have definitely kept it around longer. I don't know how they would have done it, what they would have done if maybe he started working actually with Sam, or he just, went doing his own thing. Demon Dean should have definitely stayed around so much longer. I could have watched him the whole season 10 and been happy with it.
Exactly. I mean, that was such a powerful story. They could have milked the hell out of it. And 3 episodes? Come on. There were
like 3.
Right.
3. And they hyped it up so much, and then for it to not to happen, no. I get so mad about that. It's the same thing, like, I wish Leviathan Castiel had stayed around longer.
Yeah, that too. There was a lot of potential there. An awful lot of potential there. And here's something that I didn't agree with. I don't like that they made Garth a werewolf.
I thought that was a poor excuse to try and write him off of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they thought that the audience would react to it okay because we had Benny the vampire, who I assume was a fan favorite, really. And I thought maybe they think that people act the same way, but that was just a poor excuse. And then he's living with some pastor and some.
It was hokey. Yeah, it was very hokey.
They could have come up with something a lot better than that. Oh, and then of course killing off Kevin Tran.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course.
But that always puts this, like, because Goodrill is one of my favorite characters in the show, but it always puts me as in oppositions of it because I loved Kevin. Kevin was great. Why couldn't Kevin have stayed?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think they just enjoy ripping our hearts out. I think they really do enjoy watching Twitter explode when they do shit like that. They love the reactions.
They ripped my heart out when they killed off Balthazar, especially because he was like Castiel's best friend.
Yeah.
And I still think to this day that if Balthazar was still around, Castiel would not have felt unloved or unwanted because Balthazar loved the shit out of him, and no one can tell me different.
I hear you. I agree with you. And well, in his own twisted way, so did Gabriel.
But Gabriel's not dead. I'm in denial.
I hope not. I hope not. The last episode he was in was such a mind fuck, though.
Oh God, metafiction.
Yeah.
I really thought that he was back, and then for it to all have been some weird. By the way, in what world does all these great characters get to live and Metatron is still alive?
Thank you. Oh my God, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. Shit, I even get mad at watching, what the hell is that show? American Dad, because he does the voice for the character Snot on American Dad, and I'm like, I hear his voice, I'm like, oh, shut up, just shut up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a playoff of, because he played Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, and now he's Snot on American Dad. She's saying, Scribe of God is like having a gold con ticket. Explain yourself. What the hell does that mean? I can't think anymore. I don't know what that means. Stop making me think. What's wrong with you? Alfini Q is agreeing. What's up with that? Metatron's alive and kicking. Well, you know, they should just, especially while he was human, they should have just beat the fuck out of him and left him on the, no, they should just, they needed to end him. They did need to end him.
I think having him around and having, like, what he said to Castiel was even more of a build-up to Castiel making his decision to let Lucifer in, because when Metatron told him that, oh, you're broken, I can see it, and just, maybe that's how they kept him around, but honestly, Castiel, you should have just killed him right then and there. It would have been so easy.
It would have been. It would have been. Oh, okay. Mishy's saying, that's why he's still alive. He's the top dog, front row seats, all photo ops and autographs included. Your convention analogies are hurting me. Stop. Stop it. Stop. I love you, Mishy. Stop. Plus, he knows how to kill Amara. Yes, he does. He's just not telling.
We thought that Lucifer knew how to kill Amara, and now he's just chilling free. We need to stop letting the bad guys making the decisions. Clearly, that is not a good choice.
No, because now the lunatics are running the asylum.
It's Arkham all over again.
Right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, Mishy's saying that she was supposed to make it to NashCon. Well, it's still in driving distance. I don't want to hear your excuses, woman. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm getting ready for NashCon, speaking of NashCon, and I have roughly 100 more pieces I'm supposed to do between now and tomorrow night. What? Oh. And, yeah. That's not really going to happen. I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to do my best.
That's all you can do.
And drink heavily, possibly.
That sounds like a fun plan.
It is. Have you ever made jewelry while you're drunk? It's epic. The stuff that
I've done one of those.
Have you?
You know, the getting drunk part.
Yeah, it's interesting and painful. I get stuck with wire when I'm sober. Doing it drunk doesn't really, yeah. Anyway. Oh, Mishy, don't you threaten me. She says, you never know, I may show up.
Oh, what?
Really? I dare you to show up. How do you like that?
Oh.
I dare you. I triple dog dare you. Here it is, live on the interwebs. So, there. Now what? Destiny, you'd be my intern? Are you talking about being my intern? Can you sit at my table? Yeah, you can sit at my table. I don't think you need a ticket to be in the vendor's room. I do. To vend. But
are you going to be at the New Jersey one, by the way?
I am. I'm doing every single one of them.
Well, I only live an hour away from the New Jersey one, so I already know I'm going there.
Awesome. Oh, where do you live again? You're in New York, right?
I live in New York. Putting that out there in Westchester County. It's only about 15 minutes, only like 15 minutes from New York City.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Say hi to Professor X for me.
I will. Well, it's funny because last year when they had the New Jersey convention, I saw all these pictures of Jared and Jensen in New York City, and they were in all the spots that I go visit when I'm in the city, and I was like, why? Why not the day that I was there?
Yeah, it's, it's not fair. I saw them too, because I used to live in Jersey City and in New York, and I worked in New York most of my life. And like, why now? Because I'm in Tennessee. You decided to go to New York. You jackasses. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's like I would spend, I spent most of my preteen and teenage life in the Village. And a friend of mine told me recently, she said she lives in Toronto, and she came down to New York City way back, when for a high school field trip to go to New York City, and they happened to bump into Joey Ramone. I'm like, I lived there and never saw the man. Ever. As a matter of fact, I had to go to frigging Albuquerque Comic-Con just to meet Marky Ramone. And I'm like, it's just not fair. How does that happen? How does that happen? You just happen to randomly show up for one day and you run into someone, that's like an icon. And I was there all the time, and I no, did not meet an icon. I did cry when I met Marky, though. That was last month. I fangirled.
I saw Ron Howard at Sushi Samba in New York City during the summer. He was sitting down, and I could have sworn it was him. I was like, me and my friends were like, that probably is him. And then another friend of ours was meeting us, and she was coming in just as he was leaving. She was like, did you guys see Ron Howard? And I was like, yes. That was who it is, Ron.
Oh, that's so
Howard.
Cool. That is so cool. I love him.
His movies are amazing.
I like him a lot. I loved Happy Days.
I used to watch it on reruns when I was little.
Yeah, they weren't reruns when I was little. Hey, they weren't reruns, damn it. Oh my God. I saw Mork from Mork get his spin-off from Happy Days. Did y'all know that, by the way? That might be.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Not everybody knows that. That's cool trivia. Mork from Ork was originally a guest on Happy Days who got a spin-off.
I loved Robin Williams. I was devastated. Devastated.
I know, me too. That was, even my kids were heartbroken by that too. You speak to anybody and in any age, any generation, and he's touched someone, that was heartbreaking.
I think that's where this cause, like, always keeps fighting, really comes into play.
Yeah.
I think when that happened, you can definitely apply that cause to that, because I don't know. It was just so sad. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So sad over it.
Yeah, it's still, sometimes I forget that he's gone, and then when I remember that, it's jarring, it's sad to know that you're never going to enjoy anything from that person anymore, and that he's just, his energy's gone.
Yeah.
And he had so much to offer, and he just didn't see it. And, like you said, if maybe if he had the support, things could have been different.
Yeah.
But it's hard because, there are people that can be going through stuff and you just don't know it because they have a great game face. There are no telltale signs. It could be anyone.
I think when I first started getting into Supernatural and I first found out about Jared Padalecki and his own struggles and his own battles, I was very, very shocked, because you don't think, well, there's a good-looking guy who has a wife and children and this amazing career, and you would never think that, oh, he goes through these things as well. And to hear that is humbling, and it makes you admire him even more, that he's willing to even admit things like that. It just, I think, makes the fans and the SPN family feel that these aren't these big, huge actors who are too good for us. No, they are putting themselves at the level that we are and saying that we're all in this together.
Agreed. That was such, I mean, I had already had so much admiration and respect for them, but when Jared did that, that just catapulted the level of respect and admiration that I had for them. Because they don't have to do that. And a lot of actors don't feel they want to or should, or that it's beneath them, but they recognize that a lot of people in their audience are dealing with these things, and they came out and said, dude, so are we, and this is what I do to feel better, this is what we could do for you. And you know, they're just amazing human beings, absolutely amazing human beings. And you know, I'm eternally grateful to them. You know, that campaign hits so close to home for so many people, myself included. You know, I mean, I've got my own stuff I'm dealing with, and I've been very public about that. My husband is bipolar, you know, and I've been very public about that. My 13-year-old has been struggling here and there with stuff that was triggered by bullying a couple of years back. So, I mean, you know, no matter who you talk to, someone's affected. And, you know, they just do so much good and don't ask for anything in return either. This is genuinely them giving back to us.
Yeah, it's amazing. It just makes me love them even more. I am so happy to have even gone to a convention to see them and just hear about them, and love it all.
Me too. So we are nearing the witching hour here, which is get my kids' asses in bed, and it's 9 o'clock here, so it must be 10 o'clock for you, so it's even later. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I just want to remind you all that Tia is a very gifted writer, and she has self-published a couple of pieces of work that I will put all of the information for in the description of this video. In addition, I will also put all of her contact information. So if you would like to reach her, and you know, if you have questions about how to get her work, or if you want to see, maybe she would be willing to share some of her old fanfic with you.
I actually was going to say I'll give you my archive of our own link if you want to share that as well.
Awesome. Give all of that to me in an email. I'll plop that in the description, and I'll also be updating the description to contain all of the Attitudes in Reverse Phoenix chapter information that we were talking about earlier as well. Yes. And I look forward to reading your work, actually. I'm really excited.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it would be great. So what I'm going to do is when I have a chance to read everything, and then I'll invite you back and we'll talk about your work.
Oh, you are amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I'm so happy that you found the time to carve out and hang out with us tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun with all you in the chat room and sassing me and threatening me and all those beautiful comments too, though. Those really made my day, and I'm still kind of red from it. So I just want to say thank you all. Have a wonderful evening, and get some rest. And if you're going to NashCon, I hope to see you there. You need to come to my table and say hi. And maybe I'll make you say, hey, Aspa, and maybe a midget will come out, and maybe not. We'll see. Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.